Hey, everybody, welcome to Bearded Baker Banter, the sports podcast. And today we have a special 2024 college football episode. Welcome, Trent,
Right.
and welcome, Trey.
One of my favorites to do every year because makes us make decisions and keeps us accountable. You know what I mean? We can always reference this in the later on in the season. So one of my favorites to do.
Don't sound too excited there, Trey. I really like the analytics of things, and this is
No,
super fun.
yeah, man. This and the college basketball episode are just.
I like this a lot. I like it a lot. I'll refer back to it at a future point in time.
Oh my gosh!
Really holds us accountable.
I don't think I sounded like that at all.
You kind of sound like Dr. Phil. You did.
Dr.
Wow.
So to bring the excitement back a little bit, I'm going to give us a Richard Pop Top to start this episode.
Right.
Cheers, Richard.
Start this episode and a start of 5 days straight of college football.
It's going to be nuts.
Love it.
It's going to be
Love
nuts.
it.
So as you can see along the bottom ticker, college football started last Saturday. We're doing our episode here for going into obviously the first big weekend. A couple games last night being Thursday, which we'll kind of talk a little bit about, but let's get into it. So what we got going on here is we have our top four winners from the Power Four conferences. I know that I think Trey, you had mentioned too that there will be an automatic bid from the best of a non-Power Four conference. Did I say that right?
So
Nice.
something of five. It's called like whatever group of five or something.
Group of five.
Yeah. The highest seeded conference winner of the group of five is an automatic bid.
Highest.
All right.
Highest. You mean highest ranked, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Highest ranked, that is, Tyler, in the playoff rankings.
So say Liberty is ranked 14th and they won their conference, and just say Air Force also was ranked 17th and they won their conference, Liberty gets in over them.
Gotcha. So what I do find interesting about this playoff stuff is I had to look into it a little bit to make sure I wasn't misspeaking or anything, but the top four or the four conference winners are the ones that get those buys within that first round. The other thing that I had to look up to make sure that I wasn't misspeaking today is that it's not reseeded.
Correct.
So once it's in, and it kind of pulls, with the 1 through the 4, and
which
once it's in, it's in.
Such is life.
Whoa. How do you guys feel about that? The no reseeding and
I think you're going to get better matchups. I really enjoy it, especially because if you really look at it, it still does favor the 1 seed essentially. All right, because you have a 12 and 5, right? More than likely, you'd think the 5 is obviously supposed to win. All right, but if you really look at that in terms of like the bracket of everything, 12 and 5, the winner plays the 4 seed.
right.
So again, looking at it, could they play a 12 seed and have the best go at it? Sure.
You could also play a 4 seed or 5 seed.
Right, but then exactly. So still favors the 1 because then you're going to be playing against an 8 or a 9 seed.
Right.
So I like that it's not reseeding because I do think you're going to get some better matchups. They also did mention too that the way it is without the reseeding is the hope is that there's not going to be a ton of repeats. And what I mean by that is, if let's say a Georgia, and a Tennessee or, Georgia and whoever, in the SEC would play, they're hoping that they don't play again. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So I think that was another point of the non-reseeding thing when I was really looking into it yesterday. So interesting stuff, but man, it's going to be awesome. I'm very happy that it's going to 12. I can only hope one day that football also gets to 64.
No. I think this is a good number.
I think 32 would be perfect, but that's just me.
Oh, no way.
That's just me.
Well, how many does FCS do?
Probably like 16, or I think it was like 16 or 12.
I thought it was more than that, but I think they have a pretty good thing going on right now with the FCS playoff.
Right.
I mean, it's definitely going to expand once they get the numbers back this year in terms of revenue for how popular it is. It's only going to get bigger. I mean,
Yeah.
So
It's the whole holiday season to the end of January. It's amazing. It's such a. I'm surprised they didn't do it sooner, man.
yeah, I don't really understand the resistance to doing this. I mean, all those years back when that they would sit there and use those computer models to determine, who was the national champion or who was getting to play in the national championship when teams were screwed out of an opportunity to be a champion, national champion.
Yeah.
So I mean, FCS is 24.
24. Okay.
Yeah.
So double this.
And it looks like the top 8 teams all get buys.
So it's essentially the same structure as this, just another one reversed, mirrored across.
Just doubled. Yeah, doubled essentially. So yeah. They'll get, like I said, I have a feeling they'll get there.
Yeah. Eventually. It's all about money.
Yeah.
To see how much they can make off of it.
But no, it's not about money, Trey. It's about the love of the game.
The kids. It's about the kids.
About the kids playing the game
Yeah.
that are way more rich than some guys playing the NFL. So
yeah.
All right, well let's jump into it here because we do have quite a few things that we would like to talk about here. So without further ado, I would like to pull up our first graphic here. I figure what we'll do here, guys, is we'll talk our top 12 teams, all right, and then we'll actually go into our own brackets and kind of talk through what the matchups would be, so on and so forth. So let me pull up the first. Oops. Well, that's not right. No, I'm going to pull up the first graphic here that has all of our picks up. They are side by side so that way people can see it. Hopefully, and go. All right. Might be a little slow. Might have to blow the screen up a little bit, but that's all right. So let's take a peek at this here with our teams. All right. So I do have them listed, 1 seeds all the way down to 12 seeds. It was kind of neat to see, where we're at with some stuff in terms of who we got. So I don't know if you guys want me to start here, but I'll go with my 4 power conferences here. I have Georgia winning the SEC still. I got Ohio State winning the Big Ten, Oklahoma winning the Big 12, and I have Miami winning the ACC. And I will say I had probably the most trouble with ACC, but that was just me.
One thing, Tyler, my 4th team is Oklahoma State out of Oklahoma.
Is it? Okay. Well, you gave me Oklahoma State.
Just to keep that out there. But I love, because it's the first time I've seen your guys' list, so I like comparing to see who we think is going to be, like, obviously have a successful season, who's not, but who's going to kind of stay in the mix too. And man, it's just looking, first thing that stands out to me right away is all of us in Oregon. So to be honest, I'm lucky I kept Oregon in my top 12, and it looks like you have them pretty low too, Tyler. But Trent, you're sticking strong to that, winning the Big Ten in the first year they're there.
Hey,
which
ducks,
is just
ducks fly together, Trey.
That's crazy, man. So they got you're telling me a team that plays in this wild ball slinging Pac-12 offense last year, outscoring teams by putting up over 35 points a game, is just going to come in and keep doing that against?
I think you're a little off on your interpretation of Oregon. Don't get me wrong; they can throw the rock, but I also think that the mentality out there is they can run the rock too. So I think the skills. Yeah, I know you're thinking like, okay, the bigs, the defense, physical defense. I'll be anxious to see if the Big Ten speed can hang with Oregon's speed too. I like the head coach. And I think they're gonna make a statement first year in that conference. And I think they have the best college quarterback on their team. A lot better than a lot of the quarterbacks directing those offenses is in that conference. I mean, you look at Ohio State first-year transfer in there. Don't get me wrong. He's a good quarterback out of Kansas State, but now at Ohio State. But now you got, okay, who's next best in the Big Ten? Penn State. You got the very questionable Aller, but who I don't think he finishes the season as their starter. I think the kid out of Central York ends up taking that over. And then, Michigan. Who's Michigan's quarterback?
That's some weird name.
Exactly. So, So Gabriel leads the Ducks to their first ever Big Ten championship, and they will be up there pretty high for that playoff.
So, Trent, I think, when I was looking at our different brackets and stuff, and Trey, I apologize. I thought it was Oklahoma. I didn't see the state.
That's okay.
When I was putting it up there, I did change it on your bracket though.
Okay.
But kind of looking at it, I feel like Trent, you have the most unique in terms of your top 12 teams, which again, we'll get into the bracket stuff because I found that even crazier. Not a bad way. I just thought it was like, wow, like, yeah, this is going to be 12-team playoff. You have what? You have Ohio State, you have Penn State, you have Michigan, right? So you have three.
And Oregon.
And Oregon. So you have 4 Big Ten teams. I mean, I'm pretty sure I only have 2. Yeah, 2. Trey, you have 3, right? Yeah, Trey, you have 3. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting because a lot of people compare the SEC and the Big Ten to kind of being one and the same now with all the alignments and movements and stuff. Obviously, very different football styles. But yeah, that's it. And the other question I did want to pose you, Trent, too, is the Florida State pick. You're not concerned at all.
Tyler, I do have one question for you though. Maybe I have this wrong. Isn't Oklahoma is Oklahoma not SEC now?
Oh, they are. Yep.
So it's you have 2 SEC. That's why I was confused there. Because
you're right.
I was looking here at the schedule and I'm like, I think you have 2 up there. So you're gonna have to bump your Big 12 champion up there. So it looks like Texas is your highest ranked. So
Texas is also.
Texas is also.
I just made a mistake there. So you got to move
Utah.
You got to join with me and have Utah up there in your top. Oh man, rookie mistake, Ty. This alignment's got you flustered tonight, man.
No, what's got me flustered is I'm making graphics here at
Showtime. There he is. But it's your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man,
it is.
No, but yeah, I mean, let's be real. The comment on how many Big Ten teams, I mean, it's a 2-conference, in my opinion, it's a 2-power conference league anymore. Like, I think the Big Ten and the SEC are, with the new additions, they have the best new additions. Correct. I mean, you got to also think in there, you got a USC that sometimes can be pretty darn dangerous. You got, I'm not saying this team's going to be dangerous, but also UCLA joining in there. So, I mean, they got much better and improved,
stronger.
And then you got the SEC adding the two of the most historic programs from the Big 12, Texas and Oklahoma. So it's like, okay, Big 12 is, it's still a power conference. And you guys know me, I like Utah, but I just, in comparison to those other 2, I mean, if you're looking for the best playoff, you want a good amount of SEC and Big Ten. And I think, I mean, other than my at-large group of 5 there, and I believe Notre Dame, and then automatic bids from. So 4 of my teams are not in the major conference, I believe, either of those 2 major conferences. Right. Florida State's only in there because they'll get the automatic, in my opinion. Even with that loss, I know everyone's abandoning ship right now, but I still think, I just think it's going to be a total mess in the ACC.
especially with a lot of teams losing guys this year. I mean, I know one of the teams was North Carolina that a lot of people were high on last year. I mean, it's not going to be the same North Carolina team as it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I put Notre Dame in because it's going to be very hard for the NCAA to not have them in there.
Could see that.
Trent, to your point, I was just looking at mine. I have 3 teams that aren't in the Big Ten or SEC in the playoff.
Yeah. Who did I have extra?
Who did you have? Florida. Yeah. Who else did you have?
Okay, so you included Tennessee in there over somebody from.
Right. I included Tennessee over Michigan. But
okay.
That's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sold on Michigan. I think there's too much turmoil.
Trey, you have Oklahoma State in there instead of Oklahoma. So.
Right.
So that's why Oklahoma State, you have Notre Dame, you have Boise State, and then Miami. So that's your 4. You have 4.
Yeah. Shoot.
Hang on. I'm don't worry. I'm going to update this graphic here. I have it set ready to go. So
it's okay. It's all right, man. I do find it hilarious how, usually sometimes with March Madness seeding, we're, other than Tyler making, major conferences, 16 seats. We're
shout
usually,
out West Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're usually pretty darn close, but I think mine is definitely, for some reason, mine looks completely different from everybody's.
Yeah, and I think Trent, can I be honest? I think me personally, I took I don't know. It's easy just to predict and pick the top teams that are already up there, but that's not what happens. There's so many variables. There's so many crazy things that happen. There's going to be a top 5 team or top 8 team that probably loses 4 or 5 games, and there's probably a team that's unranked that will lose 1. So
yeah,
it's just.
Can I tell you guys my one team that will absolutely make it, and it's the difference maker in mine?
Missouri.
Yeah. And one of the major reasons I put them in there is they're going to be good again, right? I think Burden the third is back at receiver, correct? Could have been. Right. He was up there in the top 3 for the top wide receiver. Was that Biletnikoff Award? But now, guys, their toughest game, in my opinion, toughest game that they have to survive is at Alabama week 9. Their other major.
Who's this? Say it again.
This is Missouri. So if you go through their schedule, yeah. And don't get me wrong, they do play an A&M, but I still think, compared to the rest of the SEC, they don't have to play Georgia until they play their conference championship game, right? So they play on the road at Bama. Their next hardest opponent might be A&M, which they're at. But then other matchups, they play Auburn. Missouri's at home. They play Oklahoma. Missouri's at home. South Carolina, Mississippi State, and then Arkansas. So when I look at some of those SEC teams and their schedules, they don't have to play a Georgia or a Texas, who, in my opinion, are going to be two of the potential favorites in the SEC. So they might beat each other up. And Missouri's got a good chance there. So that's why I think their strength of schedule helps get them in the mix.
Guys, I just got word from our stat guys. They said they had to share this with me to share with you guys. Michigan's quarterback is Alex Orji. O-R-J-I.
Yep, that's right. I do remember that now.
Sounds like he'll get gang tackled.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
He knows how to hit a lot of holes.
Jeez.
Oh, man.
All right.
Nothing at all.
Trent, can I counter your point?
Yeah, go for
it. About Missouri?
Yeah.
I looked into all that too. And I think where our difference comes is I think Alabama beats Missouri, and I don't think that's Missouri's only loss. And I think I don't know. I mean, I understand their quarterback's good and they have an easier schedule, but you still got to win those games, and you play some pretty good teams that aren't ranked, like Auburn, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt. Nah. But no, I just don't. I don't know. I think only one of those teams is going to get in because that game's so pivotal is Alabama and Missouri, and I just
will
don't
be.
see
That'd be
Alabama
a great Week 9 matchup.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we're ready.
Here we go.
I think we got the update. Wait,
I'm gonna go.
Make sure. Yep. Is it up?
There you go.
There we go. It's Oklahoma State now, Trey. Oh, Trey left.
Oh, bye, Trey.
What? Did he said I was gonna go, and I'm like, wait a second, is he just kidding? I thought he was like giving me the old all right, well, let me get out of here kind of thing.
Yeah. So you have Utah jumping up over Miami.
Yeah, just because I do think that the ACC is going to be such a cluster. I don't think a clear-cut team's going to come. I don't even trust Miami. And that's kind of the issue.
No.
It was hard for me because part of me was like, oh yeah, I think Florida State's going to be fine, right? But then on the other hand, the way that they played and with their quarterback situation, I don't trust their quarterback situation. I know he's catching a lot of heat from everybody, with how he played and everything, but like, it's the truth, man. I don't trust the quarterback situation. So I don't know. That's why I have Miami where they are. I mean, you could even see a sneaky team. Who the heck knows? Dude, SMU could win it. That's another team to keep an eye on.
No.
Hey, I'm just
ACC?
saying. Possibly.
They struggled, man. They struggled. But I guess you just got to avoid that recency bias.
Yeah.
So,
I think the team that I had trouble with in terms of SEC and not putting them higher, because I actually do think that they're going to be pretty darn good this year, is Ole Miss with Jackson Dart. So I know I talked about him a little bit last week. But I was kind of frustrated too with my auto bid down there at 12 that Trey had already kind of ruined that a little bit.
Oh, dude, if you don't have to. I should influence your decisions like that. I mean, it's a great pick.
No, you didn't. No, you can say you didn't influence. I'm saying when you were giving the examples and stuff, you're like, oh, like if Liberty, and I'm like, yep, that's my pick.
Oh,
like that's why at the beginning of the episode, I'm like, oh, great, thanks. Wanted it to be a little bit of a surprise, but no big deal. But yeah, I think it should all be updated now with all the graphics and stuff. So that's good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I am, like I said, I am still surprised.
Can I ask you guys a question here? Is the only way, how will Notre Dame ever get a top 4 seed?
Done like one loss.
No, they can't.
Oh, a top 4 seed. No, that's actually been discussed, Trent. They can't.
Okay, so they'll never get a bye.
No.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because that just dawned on me. I'm like, wait a second.
That's why they said they'll think they'll join one soon.
So who do you think they join that? Yeah,
ACC. If they were smart, they joined the Big Ten.
That would be great. Oh my gosh, that would be huge.
Penn State,
I don't think
Michigan.
they would join Big Ten over SEC.
Oh, over the SEC, yeah, Trent. They have I guess it doesn't matter anymore. The conference names don't mean anything.
I don't see them. I don't see them ever join the SEC. I see them joining the ACC because aren't they in the ACC in basketball?
Yes.
Well, that's what I mean. I agree. ACC makes most sense because that's where they kind of already been. And remember COVID year, I think they actually did join that year that conference for 1 year because remember they beat Clemson and then lost to Clemson in the conference championship that year. So I don't know. I mean, I know this is completely off topic, but I mean, I could see I think they would go Big Ten, which would make the most sense being their location. But once again, location doesn't technically matter anymore.
No, it doesn't.
But I could also see them trying to be top dog in the Big 12 too.
I was going to say Big 12 as well. But you guys are right. The Big 10 would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, especially, considering where we live here in PA.
If they went to the Big
Penn
10,
State Notre Dame fans.
If they went to the Big 10, I would argue that the Big 10 is a stronger conference than the SEC.
Ooh.
I don't think so.
Nobody on ESPN would ever agree with that. That big-eared guy.
I don't agree with you.
Who's that big-eared guy?
Paul Feinbaum?
Paul Feinbaum.
Finnebaum.
No, it's not Finnebaum.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a bracket up here, Tyler.
Yeah.
All right.
Ladies first.
Trey's up?
Yes.
Yeah, no, shut up.
All right.
Trey's like, yep, let's put mine up.
All right, so Trey's bracket.
Colorado's sweating this game.
I know it's really, really hard not to watch right now.
Finnebaum.
All right. Jeez.
Is that better now?
Dude, I hate it.
You cut off the top 12 team, but that's okay.
All right. Hang on. There you go.
Hate it.
There you go.
You hate it?
Hate it.
Well, what do you hate, Trent?
All of it.
What?
He just glances at it. He goes, dude, I hate it. Hate it.
Well, I hate it.
I hate,
all right, Spumoni.
Yeah, I hate your championship game.
Well, I know, but dude, that's what's gonna I can just see that. It's not chalky. Alabama in the championship game is not chalk.
Technically, it's not chalk because he's got them as an 11 seed, but still, it's just I don't like it. I guess my first big surprise.
Can I tell you what I hate off the bat?
Well,
I can tell you what you hate. You hate Penn State going to the Final Four.
Me?
No, don't hate
both
that.
of you. Both of you do.
No,
I don't hate that. I don't think that'll happen, but I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I hate your LSU in the Final Four.
I agree. That's actually what I was going to say.
Why?
Don't like LSU. Well, first off, I don't know if Oklahoma State's going to get in there. I also don't think LSU will get in there. But to have LSU against Oklahoma State, I don't know. I don't like it at all.
So
I don't think Kelly is that good of a coach at LSU. I think he's a good coach, but I don't think he's a good coach at LSU.
Tyler, take it easy on him. He took his whole family down there to LSU and picked up and moved from Notre Dame to LSU, and his kids stayed at Notre Dame. So it's like I hate Ty. I do hate that. I hate that too.
I think
especially 5 seed.
LSU has one of the easier SEC schedules, like the same thing that Trent pointed out. I do think Brian Kelly does get some pretty good recruits, regardless if he's a good coach or not. Those guys are extremely talented.
Well, it's LSU and the boosters.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. They still have great talent every year. So no, I do like my LSU pick, and I'm going to defend my Oklahoma State pick too, because Utah, Cam Rising, is he going to make it past Game 3 this year for his 8th season?
He's going to rise above.
It sounds like a broken record, but Oklahoma State plays Utah at home halfway through the season, and then the following game they play Kansas State away. That's their hardest games. There's legitimately no more threatening games. They're returning Ollie Gordon, who was should have been a Heisman candidate, Doak Award winner last year. Looks exactly like Adrian Peterson. Will probably be a top 10 draft pick. The only thing that bothers me is their quarterback. Obviously, their offense is going to run through their running back, but when they load the box up, he's got to be able to make throws and kind of continue drives. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about. But I mean, the Big 12 is weak. Their 2 best teams left. Oklahoma State is a great returning roster with a favorable schedule. I don't know. Utah hasn't proven anything.
I'm not disagreeing with you that the Big 12 is not weak. I mean, but then you could also make the argument too with the ACC. So then you look at it is, do teams just beat the crap out of each other? And that's kind of where, like I said, about the ACC.
I don't know about the ACC beating the crap out of each other.
When I say beating the crap out of each other, I just think everybody's kind of like
average.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel about the Big 12.
Yeah, I completely agree, Tyler. And what separates Oklahoma State from the rest of the Big 12 is they have an absolute superstar and a superstar. They have a superstar player
and a great coach with a great head of hair.
Yeah,
it's true.
But
that's true.
Yes,
he is bringing the mullet back. I don't know if you guys heard.
He's brought it back.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, he's bringing it back.
Trey, you're right in the sense of Penn State winning 2 playoff games. A little too hefty for big James Franklin there in big games.
He's got to turn it around some point if he wants to keep his job.
Obviously, we have our disagreements on our Big 12 winner, but I think if anything, if you're gonna, I don't know. I would imagine seeing Oklahoma State, if they've got that bye, I think they'll. I would think an LSU might even struggle with a Boise State in that type of setting. I
agree, but
so I don't know. Teams that play the longest, they block well and they tackle well, and in a run game like an Ollie Gordon, correct? That could carry you through LSU. I don't even like Oklahoma State being in there, to be honest with you, because I feel like they always blow a major game. Like or a game where you're like, hey, there's no way they're going to lose. Look at them this week. You have them 4th, and they're only 9.5-point favorites against South Dakota State, Jackrabbits.
Yeah, those
Jackrabbits,
aren't,
baby.
Those schools aren't easy to play against. You guys, FCS school, FCS. Well, they're powerhouses in the FCS.
Well, and that's also because a lot of those FCS schools are now getting, maybe the 3rd receiver from Michigan.
Exactly.
Or the number,
they're also fighting for their lives because they don't have as good of boosters as we were saying earlier. So, but I hate seeing Georgia out there, but I know, like, hey, Georgia very well could have been in the playoff this year. If it wasn't for losing at the worst time possible. And I think they handed Nick Saban one more playoff run. But I just, Georgia, Alabama, if we have to watch another freaking major playoff football game with those 2 teams playing against each other, get the hell out of here. You got 3 SEC and 1 Big Ten, you homer, and your only Big Ten is Penn State.
Dude, there is a way that Georgia doesn't make the playoffs. Because if they make the team,
they have a really hard.
If they make the team drive themselves to the game and not take the bus.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
Well, supposedly they're gonna. Tyler, they said they're gonna carpool with Ollie Gordon.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yes, rumor on the street.
It's messed up. All right, let's go. Man. Let's pull up the next one.
All right, Trent.
Who's next?
This is Trent.
You guys are good. You guys are tear me apart. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Here, let's
put it away, Tyler.
Hold on. We'll go to mine first, since Trent, yours is vastly different.
What?
So Trent,
why you get? Trey's just trying to overcompensate. It was uncomfortably awkward, Trey. That's how hard you were trying.
Wait, Trey, I did want to point something. One thing I did want to point out, Trey, is if you do get that 10-7 Tennessee Penn State matchup, we have to beer bet it. Just to straight up money
for
line.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
then my brother-in-law Brandon, he would absolutely love that. I'd have to get tickets. Could you imagine? That'd be a home game at Penn State. Probably nighttime.
Yeah,
that would be insane.
Yeah,
those tickets would be outrageous.
I don't even care. Dude, that's an experience, man.
Nico dropping dimes all over Franklin's defense.
Yeah, please.
Love it.
They'll be calling timeouts before they can get a playoff.
Oh man. All right, yeah. So this is mine. Kind of a chalky championship too, with 2 SEC teams.
Wow.
I think the matchup that I'll highlight, and I'll let you guys kind of critique it a little bit more, but is the Alabama Ole Miss matchup. Is now that Saban's not there, I feel like Kiffin can finally kind of have some time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I feel like
I like
Big Daddy Nick's not looking over him now.
Yeah, I like Ole Miss and I like Lane Kiffin, but that's tough. That's a tough little run they'd have to go on in a very tough conference too. The one thing I don't like about yours, Tyler, and this is why I was a little offended when you made your mistake, is I don't think Oklahoma will be in the top 12. No, I think they're going to be the like broken team in the SEC that just gets pounded every week because they play everyone. And I just don't think Brent Venables has really shown himself to be a successful head coach yet. Like I don't think he's.
You could see in Trey if that is true, and Oklahoma just gets pummeled this year.
Yeah,
I could see him getting fired. I could see him going back to Clemson.
Yep, exactly.
And Clemson returning back to a little bit of glory.
I think he's more successful as a second fiddle, focusing on the defense.
Totally agree. I totally agree.
Is that funny, John?
Second fiddle. Is funny.
That's the right usage of second fiddle.
I know, but I don't think I've ever used that in my 34 years of life.
But if you're going to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle in the band, though.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Right. Real quick, I just want to talk about something that's going on right now. Like, you're telling me you got a minute 40 left in this Colorado game. They're only up 5. And they just threw a Hail Mary when they have the ball and could run the clock out. You tell me someone on that Colorado sideline doesn't have them plus 11.5 right now. They're trying to score a touchdown to cover. Like, what the hell is going on? Run the clock out.
I'm okay with it.
I am too. Cause I got them plus 11.5. North Dakota. Sorry. I'm sorry. But it's hard. It's really hard not to talk about. I know we're
no, that's fine. I mean, it's a little live action here.
Yeah. But let's see. Looking here. Trey, I mean, are you okay? Like, you call me the Penn State hater, and I'm not seeing any Nittany Lions here.
No, I think you guys both collectively hate Penn State equally, actually.
Whoa,
Trent, you're a little bit more vocal about it. Tyler just is a closet hater.
I think. Well, Tyler definitely does not like him. Like, he doesn't hate him.
Whoa.
Tyler, I'm pretty sure I've caught you and Owen
No, Owen likes him.
Like moaning when Penn State pulled out a close victory last year.
That might have been the Packers.
But
it's not true.
But I will say, it's not that I hate Penn State. I don't care for James Franklin. But I don't know. I mean, I like.
I love that he thinks that Trent's more vocal, and they're still passing.
He is.
So, once again, 3 SEC schools in your Final Four, 1 Big Ten, and that's Ohio State. So, yeah, that is seeing Ole Miss all the way out there. That's a spicy one.
It's an interesting sight.
It's just, once again, Ole Miss is a game where our team can be super high scoring, but I don't know. I just feel like they always lay an egg or two throughout the year. It's like, what are you doing? Like,
can I tell you what, like, I struggle with is, and I think I said this last week or a couple weeks ago, is I don't think that Alabama is going to be the same Alabama. And I'm not saying that the new hire from Washington is a bad coach. All right. Cause obviously, he led a very great Washington team, to where he did last year. I just don't see it transferring to Alabama. I don't know what it is. And maybe it's just, so used to the Nick Saban era of things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I almost didn't put Alabama in my top 12. But then I sat there and I thought, I'm like, you know what? There's no way that they're going to sit there and let Alabama not make the top 12. Regardless. Like, they're going to get him in there just to get him in there because it's Alabama. So unless something majorly drastic happens and they have 5 losses,
I don't know.
I think that might be the only way they're not in.
No,
I don't think they owe Alabama as much as they do anymore. With Nick Saban gone, I don't think they're going to be ESPN and college football's sweetheart. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to be bad, but I do believe that Nick Saban had a lot of pull in a lot of the favorable rankings year in year. I mean, don't get me wrong, the guy's a hell of a coach, and he pulled in, his third team was like all American first round draft picks on his squad, but they lost a lot, and it's football is different from college basketball in the sense of, yes, you can win here or there in the portal, but when you have too much change for the game of football, I think football is so much more of a team game than basketball is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because basketball, you can have one or two absolute star players, and you could get carried by them for quite some time. Whereas you could have a stud quarterback, you could have a stud running back, but if you don't have complementary parts in the football game of football, you're screwed long term. But I don't know. I mean, you guys both have the same national champion, so that's cute.
And I hated doing that. I almost put Ole Miss, but I just, like I said, unless they make Georgia drive themselves to a game, it's gonna be tough to beat them. But I don't know. Let me give a Richard Pop
on that.
One last thing though is the team that I almost put in besides Liberty there was Tulane.
Tulane.
I like to say like Trent does now.
Who,
Tulane.
Tyler?
No.
Tulane.
Tulane.
How do you say it?
Tulane.
And that's what I say. Tulane.
No. It's Tulane.
Tulane.
I was making fun of you because you say Tulane.
I thought you said it the right way. Tulane.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. But no, that was the other team that I was thinking of putting up there instead of Liberty. But hey, see what Liberty can do. All right, let's rip Trent's bracket apart.
Oh my god!
You haters, bring it on.
Like I said, it's very unique.
It is,
your bracket, Trent, is what I hope it is. If I could say
chaos.
New. Yeah, that's what I hope
know.
I hope you're right.
None of those matchups excite me.
Well, see, that's the problem. Right there, that's the problem. That's why year in, year out, everyone gets like, oh, Washington's in it this year. Oh, TCU, they're just, that's so boring. Yeah, they got their ass kicked. I get it. But you know what? Let's see upsets. Let's see it this year.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like,
I am anxious to see. Here's the one thing I'm most anxious about this. And this is true in all playoffs anymore. Okay. The truth is, yes, the buys are good to get healthy. Nobody's going to say, ew, get away from me, an off week. Are you kidding me? However, how many times do we see in MLB teams that play from the wild card round on stay hot? They get hot, they stay hot, they make a run. The teams that do the play-in games for the NCAA tournament.
Oh my gosh.
There's always a team. There's always a team that sits there and son of a gun. That's heartbreaking. Always a team that sits there and makes a run in those first four playing games. I mean, look at the NFL too. You occasionally, that's probably the one maybe, but I don't know. A team could get some momentum. You could stay hot, and you can see some upsets. So, I mean, for me, as you guys see here, the team that I think is the one that's going to be hot and ride the wave is the Missouri Tigers.
Not Tulane, the Wave.
Well, no, Trey, Oregon I have as the number 1 overall seed. So they're not doing a play-in. It's Missouri playing Notre Dame.
I know. Yeah,
I know. I think they'll smoke Notre Dame. It's going to be a shootout with Georgia. And then, sadly, they're going to beat the 8-year vet who, yes, was playing quarterback well. Barack Hussein Obama was still in office. And
wow, it's going with all three names.
Sorry. You got Missouri in there, and
for emphasis.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. I'm telling you once again, I think Missouri is going to be tested just enough, but they're not going to be, wind out of their sails.
Dude, I'll say this, Trent. The road you have them going on though is pretty damn tough.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I would almost argue. I mean, if you even flipped Oregon and Georgia,
yeah,
I'd say Missouri had a better chance.
Yeah,
Oregon and Georgia.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you guys both have Georgia as your national champion, so yeah.
Is there any bet I can make against Oregon that would be fair? Like, I don't want to say they're not going to make the playoff because I think they will.
I'll bet you right now Oregon beats Penn State. Do they play this year, right?
No, they don't.
I will bet you that Oregon
finishes
higher in the Big Ten than Penn State. And in the national
deal. Oregon finishes higher than Penn State in the Big Ten.
I'll go with that.
Not ranking, just in the Big Ten.
Yep, I'll go with that.
Because the Big Ten, hey, there he is. This awkward handshakes.
It's not awkward. That's good. Look,
that's awkward. Look,
you kind of look like you're up to no good there.
Whatever.
Gotta hand it to you, Trey.
Question for you though. Like with as big as these conferences are they still split into two?
Nope.
Like they
none of them.
Okay,
none of them
are.
All
right. Okay, I didn't know that if they did anything.
So that's why I even think Missouri, Georgia could play in their conference championship, and I do believe Ohio State, Oregon are going to play in their conference championship. And I think those football games are going to be phenomenal. I really do. Ohio State, you got to remember, Chip Kelly's there now. So
guys, did I tell you I'm in a wedding
coordinator for Ohio State.
October 13th. I'm in a wedding.
Ooh,
that's that crazy day of college football.
Whose wedding is that?
Mike Rothermill.
Yeah,
that's Owen's birthday too.
Oh, I text him all the time.
Dumb.
I text him all the time.
You're gonna be like that car commercial insurance. You're gonna burn everything down.
I'm not gonna do that.
What's that guy called? Chaos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So hey, look at me.
It's mayhem.
Mayhem. Damn. There you go.
I'm surprised you know how to sing. I'm surprised you know how to sing.
Sorry, those commercials are usually during college basketball. It's been a while, guys.
Trey, I'll let your nephew know that you won't be there either.
Neither will mom and dad.
I know.
I'll be there. Uncle Goo will be there.
All right. Thanks, Trent.
All right.
But anything else?
Let's do our bets for this Saturday.
How much?
I know. I said anything else on the bracket. That's what I said.
Oh no, sorry, my bad.
Trey, I have Penn State in.
What?
I have Penn State in mine.
That losing to Ole Miss first round.
Well, sorry, truth hurts. Trey, you know what I do laugh about is I listen back to our last week's episode and you and I were on like all opposite picks and all of my picks won.
I know they did. Yeah. No, he's not wrong, Todd, because I talked about it.
No, I know.
We were at mom and dad's.
I went 3-1.
And you kept texting Tyler all your bets that you were winning, and he was telling me, I go, yeah, I know, Tyler. I know. And he said, what? Because I bet all the opposite ones.
I was kind of doing it on purpose. I'm not gonna lie. Like I kept wanting to be like, Trey, where's your winning slip? Trey, where's your winning slip? The only thing I lost was SMU's team total.
Okay.
So
hey, there is one team, and this will kind of segue us into some picks and stuff here.
I have something else to add about week 0. Can I real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
With week 0, I'm pretty sure every team that was an underdog covered.
Yep, they did.
Every single one covered. So
wow.
That trend's kind of staying true to at least, holding true to this big game tonight with Colorado and them. So,
one team that I should have known better, but have learned, and will stick to this throughout the season now is don't bet against Coastal Carolina.
Oh yeah, Jacksonville State tonight. Ruined my parlay, man. Ruined
my parlay too.
Yep.
So, and I was hesitant, and I was like, "Come on, it's Jacksonville State, Coastal Carolina. It's New Year."
Yeah, Rich Rod, baby,
Nope.
Rich Rod.
Yep. Going back. Speaking of Rich Rod, there is a big Penn State game this weekend. Penn State and West Virginia with a noon kickoff, I believe.
Sure is.
Wow. So noon kickoff on Saturday. That's a big one. There's a couple big matchups here pretty early. You also have a Clemson, Georgia, a 14-1 seed at 12 o'clock. You have Iowa, Illinois State. It's not as big, but Penn State, West Virginia. Yeah. I read it as Illinois at first. I was like, oh, that's not that big.
Illinois State.
Oh, okay. Then you get into
a really exciting game.
Super exciting. Another 3:30 matchup that's pretty big too. You got Miami versus Florida this year.
Real quick, watch us eat our words and like Illinois State like pulls an upset or some shit.
That would be pretty nuts.
Oh, gosh.
But yeah, lots of games, lots of good games. I mean, obviously, any game's a good game because now we are finally in the college football season. Late slate, obviously, big game. Notre Dame, Texas A&M, a 7 versus a 20. I think the Michigan Fresno State game could also be pretty entertaining. I'm really interested to see what Michigan does this season. New era, no Harbaugh. A lot of clouds above them. Circulating about this person and that person and this charge and that charge and who knew what when. So I'm be interested to kind of see what happens there with them. But and then you round out the weekend with Sunday. Looks like at least one game on Sunday, just one. LSU versus USC, which is a 13 versus a 23 matchup. So just to highlight some big games, especially that Illinois State game. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, I would personally like to start off with Trey's game. The Penn State West Virginia game. I will be watching. I know they opened at, I think West Virginia opened at plus 10.5 favorites. The line is all the way down to plus 7.5.
Damn.
So, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Fast Breaks, and his buddy Kev with their podcast, The College Juice. They have a little pick'em and stuff going. If you guys didn't join, make sure you get on that stuff.
I'm in there.
Join, because that was a bet that I took on there was West Virginia plus 10.5. So wish I could get that, but
damn, Ed Trey, you are
hey, whatever.
I feel for you, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm going with a pick in that game.
So Tyler, is that like one of your bets? Like your actual bets?
I don't know if I like 7.5, but I like 10.5.
Yeah, 10.5, sure, but 7.5 is bet down way too much.
I see
7.5
right
steep.
now.
Okay.
I see 8 right now. I actually like, if I'm going to make a wager on this, one I would have taken if it was still 10.5. I would have taken West Virginia just because I think at home, with an uncertainty of a Penn State offense, with a new offensive coordinator. Although I do think they're going to be better, especially once they switch quarterbacks. But I actually like West Virginia first half plus 4.5 spread. I think teams will start slow on both sides. Penn State's defense is always stingy. I know West Virginia has a pretty good experienced quarterback that can run. But I think it could potentially either be like super low scoring first half where maybe it's a field goal separation. So we're tied.
I also don't hate the under on that.
So yeah, that's actually one of my week 1 best bets is the West Virginia Penn State game under 51.5.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think like obviously the cliche is that the offense is more up to, like ready to go in game situations than the did I say offense? I meant defense is ready to
Yeah.
go in the offense. And I think that's going to hold true. Like you said, Trent, Penn State's defense is already stingy as it is. And then if they have an advantage on the offense of West Virginia, then I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. We all know Penn State has trouble moving the ball, especially in big-time games, and it's in West Virginia. So I think it's going to be a good game. I'm excited to watch it. Hopefully. It's a good outcome, but yeah, we'll see. Under 51.5 is one of my bets.
Hey, man, they canceled school in West Virginia on Friday. McAfee show showing up today.
Jeez.
So, yep, just so you know.
Well, that's all right.
I think it was canceled high school. I don't even think it was canceled classes in West Virginia. I think it was canceled high schools. Just because they're predicting a lot of people. But I mean, that'll be a good game. I like it because I believe that last year I think West Virginia opened with Pitt. I think it was West Virginia Pitt in the backyard brawl, and I think that was week 1 last year. So it's nice to see. WVU is always scrappy, so that'll be a good game. I'm excited to see that Penn State WVU game. But the other game too, unless you guys have other bets and stuff you wanted to talk about as well, but the Clemson Georgia game. Clemson, I'm seeing this is on DraftKings odds. I'm seeing it. Clemson's actually a +12, -112. I personally think that every year Clemson gets overrated or overranked. I'm sorry, early on. I see Georgia beating them by about probably at least 3 touchdowns. So I would lay that -12.
So Tyler, second best bet for the week is Georgia -4.
Whoa! Hey,
how about that?
Look at that! Look at thanks, Woody Page.
I think I think like you said, I think Clemson's I don't want to say overrated yet. I think they're expecting I guess overrated. They're just expecting too much from Dabo and his offense and his coaching and everything. And I don't think it's there this year. And Georgia drawing them first game of the year, that's really tough. Your team's got to be fine-tuned mid-season form if you want to actually have a chance against a powerhouse roster like that. So, I think Georgia beats them pretty handily.
I respect Clemson making that their week 1 matchup though.
Oh yeah, sure.
As you saw now, ACC, you gotta do something big.
Well, and on the side, you respect Georgia because Georgia finally actually has a non-cakewalk schedule. Last year was a joke.
Last year was a joke.
But this year, I'm telling you, their schedule, you take a look at it, it's intense.
Yeah.
It's no joke.
Yeah.
It's no joke.
Kirby wasn't so smart.
Whoa, Kirby not so smart.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at there's 2 games that jumped out to me. One I mentioned earlier that I don't think is going to be as close. I think Oklahoma State in Bedlam versus South Dakota State. I think Oklahoma State is going to cover 9.5. And then
that's a tough line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The touchdown field goal,
I think they'll win by at least 2 touchdowns at the very least. But the other one that, I don't know what you guys think, but how Notre Dame +3 at A&M. Brand new staff. Don't get me wrong. I like Elko, the guy that left Duke. Good riddance, you butthead. But which is kind of a cool matchup because it's his former quarterback against him. So Notre Dame, I like Notre Dame +3 in that. So those are 2 of my big. I also love betting the small games too, guys. But those are my 2 bigger games that I think Notre Dame could cover +3, and I like Oklahoma State to cover -9.5.
Yep. So I think it's a little fishy. The +3, actually.
Yeah.
I know it's in Lubbock.
A&M. Yeah.
Is that Lubbock? I don't know.
I just know it's a Texas A&M. Yep.
Right. Trent, that Notre Dame +3, another best bet for this week.
There you go.
So I'll just round out the last 2. that you guys actually didn't touch on, for me at least. Boise State, Georgia State, under 57.5 points. I think Boise State kills them. Their defense is also pretty stingy. They had 2 players actually in the top 20 last year for tackles for a loss. And their game is running the ball. So I think they're going to eat clock. I think they're going to.
That was a risky move there.
Yeah. Emphasis on the L. Emphasis on the L.
Yeah, that was once I said it, I was like, "Well, that sounded too close." No, so I think the clock's going to run out pretty fast, and I don't think Georgia State's going to score much points. So 57.5 is my other best bet. Last one is Miami and Florida under 54.5.
Okay.
Hey,
I'm
on 3 unders. I'm on 3 unders this week, fellas.
Right now, you could see. Well, again, this is DraftKings odds. Florida is plus 2.5 at Miami. If I could get that to 3 or 3.5, I would take Florida plus 3.5.
I think it was 3 at
FanDuel. It probably was. I would take that because I think Florida that could be an upset in the making. Can't stand Florida as a Tennessee fan, but they always play teams tough, and especially in the swamp against Miami, who's like your in-state, an in-state rival kind of thing.
Miami's good, man.
I'm not saying they're not good, but I would still take Florida in the swamp as dogs at 3.5.
It's a smart bet for sure. I mean, favors your decision for sure.
Yeah. One other game that we didn't talk about too that I just want to point out. I think a team that could be decent this year is Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's at Vanderbilt. Virginia Tech is listed at minus 13.5. I like that because it's under the full 2 touchdowns. So I would actually take minus 13.5 on Virginia Tech over Vanderbilt. Not a crazy exciting game, but just a team that I'm kind of keeping an eye on this year with the ACC stuff. So any other games here? You guys want to talk the Sunday game real quick, the LSU USC?
I mean, we all know how I feel about it. I'm picking LSU to win that. I think USC getting a 23 rank was like a gift, a charity for Caleb being there and then being ranked all last season. I think LSU will beat them pretty handedly. I don't know what's the spread on that. I didn't even get to look at it.
That is -4 LSU.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
At USC.
At USC?
At USC.
No, it's at LSU.
It's at
no,
USC.
It's in Vegas. It's at the Raiders Stadium.
Okay. Well, then USC's the home team, though. Doesn't mean anything. It's not, at the Rose Bowl, but.
And LSU's how big a favorite?
4.
-4.
Gotta take LSU on that.
Staying away. I'm not even betting on it.
Oh, I'm totally gonna bet on it. It's the only Sunday football game. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm totally gonna bet on it. You're full. You're full of it. I think. What's
you are. Yeah, Tyler. I'm gonna stay away from it.
Yeah, he's not gonna touch that.
Yeah.
That's on Russian bear wrestling.
No, that was one time.
Yeah,
one time. It's because I talked to that spy.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
What is What's the over under on that?
It is 64.5 from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's steep. I would take that under. I'm a big under guy this week.
Yeah, but that's one of those games, though. That could be a shootout.
The game, Trey, the under is a bet that is winning the entire time, and until it's not.
It's great logic, Trent.
Yeah, thank you. Cheering for an under is one of the most uncomfortable feelings of watching.
It sucks. It's
mostly in basketball. That's
basketball for sure. You're like praying for empty possessions constantly.
Yeah.
Then they get free throws, and you're like, damn it.
Do you realize how much mental math you're doing? like
miss it.
the entire time.
I'm
you're
like,
literally
you're minus in time, see, like predicting how many they're going to score in that half and doubling it. Yeah,
I'm going in every 5-minute increments for college basketball. That's sick. It is sick,
dude. I miss it though, man.
Oh yeah, we're not far.
Let's not miss it too much. Let's get into football here.
Okay.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Hey,
but I do miss it,
guys. I wish you a wonderful 5-day stretch of college football.
Heck yeah, man.
I thought you were about to sign off on us.
No, I'm just so happy. But anything else, folks?
Well, NFL?
We don't have to talk too much. I would like to say that the Brandon Ayuk saga is over. Welcome back. The band's back together.
I think it's just
the original offer that has always been on the table. How about that? They didn't even have to up it.
Can I say something?
Crazy.
I think it's just begun, actually, the saga. So we'll see.
You would.
I would like to. You guys will hear. I'm sure you'll hear about it. You'll see about it. But me and Matt Faust have not a beer bet, but a different type of bet for the Packers-Eagles game that will require the episode following that game. So,
do you have to like huff a wildfire if you lose?
Huff a wildfire,
because that's what's going on over there in good old Brazil right now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. Yep.
But the air quality is not bad. I don't want my team getting respiratory problems.
Yeah. Well, there's what they say.
It's a great idea to have a game over there.
A whole bunch of diseases going around right now. It's pretty wild over there. What are you giggling about? Here he goes again.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Trey's screen got a little fuzzy on me here, and he kind of looked like, you ever see those like art model people that they use to like have no face or anything?
Jeez.
He looked like one of them, and I just yeah, you did. You had no you couldn't see your nose. So
it's like cubism. It's like cubism.
Like Picasso.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. But hey, are we gonna do Wednesday episode with NFL starting next Thursday? That is to be determined for next week, or what?
Yeah, we'll keep listeners posted here. We'll talk about it off air.
Okay.
We'll update though via X. But yeah, so check it out. Yeah, have a great weekend. Happy college football.
Let's go.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday too, right?
Enjoy it. It's gonna
be great.
Guys, get all your lawn work and everything done this week, so you can just take a load off, right? Tyler?
Yeah. Yep. Eat a lot of clock, Ty. Eat a lot of clock.
Yeah. Hey, what'd you do with that? What'd you do with that groundhog?
I don't know. He got relocated.
Chuck stew.
I didn't do it. You think I did it? Come on.
All right. Relocated.
I only saw a picture of it. So to each his own.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think I got like a pet back here.
Nah, I don't know what you did.
Thing was like 3 feet long, man. Yeah.
Was it causing problems or something? Like, why'd you guys have to trap it?
Why wouldn't you trap it? It's a giant ass groundhog.
Yeah, just let it live its life.
No, not. I understand that, but
all right,
this dude, we always end the things. No,
we'll
it's just going to cause tunnels underneath my shed.
All right.
All right.
We'll see you guys.
All right. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your college football.
All right. Bye.